Here we are again. Back to the fun bit. Hey dear. Here we go. So, there's one person, whoever that is. No. And it's gone down to 0. Oh dear. Well, there's no one here at the moment, but I'm not going to talk you through what I'm going to do. So we're going to do this section here with all this, basically, and the steps, wherever they are, there, and these bits here. That's the theory. So I need E1, one of these big bits. As you imagine, down here, got stuff everywhere. It looks like one of these big burpers here. Apparently, that will go over there, kind of like that. Sit on there like that. In theory, and the holes do line up, so that's handy. Does it glue in? No idea. But apparently that's where it sits. It's a big old piece. Evening Chrono, how you doing? Alright Panzer? And Annette, hey sweetie, how you doing? Alright? Yeah, so we've got this big old piece here. I don't know where it goes, how it goes on or what, I don't know. But apparently that'll go roughly there. Like that. I don't know if it's screwed on or what, we'll soon find out. So I do have to have a lot of bits and bobs, loads of bits and bobs here. So I've got these, you can see that very well. I've got to create these little step thingy-jigs that come off of the side there. A little bit there that goes on somewhere on the back there, as you can see. It doesn't tell you where, it just points. And then we've got a bit of photo etch by the looks of it there, a big sheet of photo and a ring, and then these bits here. So apparently that's what I've got to do. So we'll just go for it. I'm alright. It's been quiet this weekend in the shop, which is not ideal. Like really quiet. There's a couple of external orders, you know, from the website to like Greater Manchester and somewhere else, and then one to Sweden. But apart from that, it's been dead. But then it's been sunny. Everyone's at shows, VE Day celebration things, and you know, so you can't blame them. It is what it is. P16, P15. So I started bagging up all these bits. There's piles everywhere, all around me, and I've started labelling them so I know roughly what's what. So that helps a little bit when it comes to this, anyway. So I want P16 and a P15 apparently, which I believe is these two bits here. Yeah. But up in Scotland, it's been absolutely roasting, and You can't blame people for not coming into the shop and actually going out and enjoying the sunshine, because it's a rare occurrence up here, and it's been like it for a few weeks, but today's even hotter than normal, so happy days. One good thing has happened today, even though I've been bored and it's been empty in here, but I'll show you in a second. Let me just get this part off and then I'll show you. So I'm making sure I cut the right bit, so I don't want to cut the wrong bit. Right, there's a ring there that I needed as well. Evening, Trevor. Just going to put this out of the way just for a minute. These bits, I don't want to get muddled up. And you can see there's a lot of stuff. So, while I was bored in the shop and all that lot, yeah. But while I was bored, I did have a customer come in, and he gave me this, which is awesome. James Holland's Casino 44. Now, I'm a bit of a fan of James Holland's books, more than I kind of know of him. Him, Peter Carrick-Adams and Al Murray, we kind of follow and chat and whatnot too. So anyway, that was one cool book. Then I got this one, which we all will remember that. A famous one, that we'd all remember that. So that'll be an interesting read, that's for sure. So yeah, two cool books from the gentleman. It was lovely. He just popped in, gave me the books and walked away. I was like, oh wow. You know what I mean? So that was nice. That kind of cheered me up a little. Right, what have I got to do with this thing? Is that supposed to push into that? I believe it does. This is going to be fun. Trying to line up 4 tubes. Are they supposed to go right in, or are they supposed to be wide like that? I love it when they don't tell you. These are crazy, weird things. What am I supposed to do with them? I don't think they're supposed to push it. It looks like a tube, and then that one looks like it's got little pins on it. I think you just glue the pins together. Quite wide. Can't get that one to line up. Trying to get 4 pins to line up all at the same time is not very easy. To say the least. From my eyesight. Oh, got it there. Alright, Terry, yeah, it was good to have that little video chat, eh? Catch up and whatnot. Bit of a wind up and a laugh. All good fun, pal. Oh, see what I mean? Oh man. Right, this is right, okay, got it, and that one. A lot of the club guys were away to the show today. Dumfries and Galloway Air Museum had a small model show, and our club group managed to get a little display table at it. So that was cool. I've seen pictures, obviously I was stuck here so I couldn't go, but it looks like they had fun anyway, or having fun. Just trying to get this one. They've all got little lugs apart from one bar. One of the bars hasn't got a lug on it, but all the rest have. So trying to get it to line up while it's drying is a bit of a pain. I need to hold that for a minute and let that dry, I think. Still need a haircut. Yeah, I kind of look like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons at the moment. Kind of got that little bit on the side going on with the pointy nose. You know. Dear. That was an ambulance going past. Up the high street. Right. That's got most of it. It's just that one where there's no lug to make it line up. That's the only one that's being a pain at the minute. All the rest have sat in there nicely. I'm just going to leave that for a minute, but that's what I'm trying to create. It's like a, I don't know what it is. It's something. I don't know. It's German engineering. I'll just put that there. Do this other one. I say none of the lugs line up, so it's not helpful. I don't think much lines up on this kit really. It's a nice kit, but just one of them, you've got to work it a bit. It's all fiddly. Fiddly. Right, that's got that one. Just hold that for a minute. You taxi to the mental ward. Oh, bugger. Little tiny lugs are so small. At the minute that glue starts to melt everything together, the lugs disappear. A bit like Crano's lugs. Any of you guys into like, I'll tell you what it is. I've been watching Street Outlaws. Anyone seen that? Been watching Street Outlaws Mega Cash Days. That's mental. The speed they go. I watched season 1 and now I'm on season 2. And season 1 they could have like the big wide tyres at the back, and now they're only allowed small tyres. Proper streetcar stuff, so. But the speeds they go is mental. Yeah, it's on. It's available online. I can't say much more than that. And you get this mad little dongle thing that you're not supposed to have, and it's all on there. Cool. Right, V1, which I know for sure is one of these big old sheets here. This is my Photorec. Look at that. I even got big old springs as well. So this is like checkered plate. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of metal Photorec anyway. I quite like the racing and NASCAR and all that kind of shenanigans. Right, so I've got 4 of these bad boys. Ooh, that is really nice. I don't like Photorec, but that's cool. Not that kind of dongle. I've still given up smoking, so that's since November, so I've done well there. It's just I keep having people say to me, have you still given up? I'm like, yeah. Right, look at this, this is lovely, this. I like this, look at that. That's proper like meshy Photorec malarkey. That's really nice. Don't quite know what all these holes are for. That's kind of daunting. There you go. Alright, Mark. How you doing, chap? Been to a NASCAR race. Oh, you're lucky man. Here you are. That is something I would love to do. There we go. So that goes on there like that, I'm guessing. And then this thing here, it's really hard to know where this goes. I don't know if it goes on the outside or on the bloody inside, but I believe it goes on there like that. I don't know if it goes that way or that way. Right, it's a bit wobbly like that. So I would presume, as presumptions go, which is never a clever thing, that would go on there like that. I believe. Hey, Mr. Stuart, how you doing, pal? Right? Yeah. That don't make sense. That I think. I'm not sure. I have no idea. That can't go on there like that, surely. No. Nah, it must go on top of that, eh? It must be. That sits on there like that. That's sitting there smart like that. That's got to go on there like that. I shall have a look at my reference photos, if it helps. Probably not. But we shall have a peek and see. Now, I don't know if... Right, they go on top. And this is how I can tell. Because over here is where I'm at, and that is on the top of that sheet. So happy days. That's where that goes. So that must sit on the top there like that. And I've still got all this shenanigans here to build whatever these are and whatever they are over there. So yeah. Right, okay. Oh, wrong camera, that one. Yeah, so that'll go on there like that, I'm imagining. So I'm building Harry Hunting, Charles and Saber Chief together from Simba and their rally crew commanders. I want to build a NASCAR, but that street, like I say, the Outlaws, Street Outlaws, or whatever it is, awesome. I'm loving it. Yeah, you're right there, eh? Yeah, I've got 4 shots at getting this right. Like, once I've done this, I've got 4 more to go. Love it. Cheers, pal. Love you too, eh? Right, so that's that on, I'm presuming. I don't know if how we're supposed to fix the metal sheet on, or if it just sits on its own at some point. I don't know. It's a bit of a wing it jobby, so we shall soon find out. Great, watched a video about a B-2 bomber costing 2 million and it had a toilet that cost me 23,000 for a bit. Vision. Right, that's the paintwork. How do you prime and then spray it in what? Oh, wait, okay. So, most of this, in theory, is roughly German field grey. But obviously, you're not going to want to have it just all one solid colour. So I'll be kind of post shading and all that kind of shenanigans, just to try and break up that solid colour just a little bit. That's the theory. Let's see if I can get this thing back on. Yeah, that's the theory. Is like you kind of just a bit like your post shading. Once you've done it, go a slightly different shade and just do the inner panels and whatnot. By the time you've done that and a load of old dust, you should be pretty much there. If I get my pal Neil's pictures up and we skip across a couple of shots, that's like as a solid colour, which is like the German kind of field grey. But where he's built it and finished it, you can see he's done a bit of like marbling, post shading, pre-shading kind of shenanigans over the top of it, and then a bit of dust down the bottom here. So, in that aspect, it's not too bad. It's near enough all one colour. It's a bit like when I done the Tiger around the 88mm. You just do it in like a weathered kind of look. Is there any leeway? Yeah. I mean, it just is what it is, isn't it? There's some wooden deck there, but there's that piece of metal that I've just plonked on. So there's them silly little rod things like that I've just made. So at least I can see where they go now. But yeah, it's just like sort of post shading, pre shading, just playing around really. There was no. The thing is, once the war was over and whatnot, it just got dismantled and got rid of. So you go and buy photographs, and they are what they are, if you know what I mean. So there's our little whatchamacallits that we just saw on that picture there. So if I can get that one to sit how I wanted it to sit in the first place, I might be able to get them on there. So they are going to go on the end there. There is little holes, I believe. Only one on that side, so it must be this side. We have two little holes on this end here where they go in, roughly. Let's see what I'm doing, that is. That pops in there, he says, optimistically. Very optimistically he says that. And like everyone said, I've got 3 more attempts at this. So at least the next 3 times I'll know roughly what I've got to do. Two seconds, pal, because I'm just trying to hold this ladder in place. Do all those little pieces in front of that frame. 1 or 2. They've been worrying me. And they do. If they do, it's mad. Kind of not sure what you mean there, pal, but there's a lot of little pieces on this model, if that explains that. I've done a lot already. All these little frames here, they've all got to go. They all go underneath this bogey. They're the brake calipers and all that malarkey. But yeah, I mean, in theory, I suppose when it sits on the metal tracks, you're not going to see them. So, in theory, do I need to do them? Probably not. Am I going to do them? Yeah, because you lot are watching. There you go, there's my little images are on. Those shiny ones that look like rails. Let's see where that goes there. That sits in there. That sits in there like that. And then I need an R36 apparently. That goes on the back there somehow. R36. Is in one of these bags. And it looks like that little jobby there. There's a lot of plastic here. That one goes on there. I've got plastic all behind me. That's all ladders and stuff there. There's stuff over here as well. There's stuff behind the door. As you can see that. In my chair. There's all stuff behind the door over there as well. There's stuff everywhere. There's just so many bits to this kit. It's crazy. I'm just going to give that a little light sanding because it's got a little bits on there. I don't want it being awkward when I glue it on. This is an old sanding stick, so there's hardly anything left on it. The ones down there look like nails. They're screws that you screw the bogey together with. Under here, I'm careful with this bit. Under here, it's all screwed in. You can see There's screws every so often. There's one there. So there's a few screws where you've got to screw it all together. That's what they're all for. There'll be more of that to carry on as well at some point. Yes, mate, that's the one. Bloody hell's about right. There's springs. The barrel is absolutely monstrous. Obviously, Stuart, you've not seen that. I shall pop this little bugger in the end there, and then I'll show you. I showed people last week, and it was like, whoa. Just pop this in first. I don't know what that is. Some sort of bumper thing. There you go. There's some sort of bumpery thing that has got to go in there. Why you got to put that in there, I don't know. If I pop that on there for a minute, put the lid on this glue. Nah, man, it's going to be awesome. I have a picture of the barrel, so I want to show you that, Stuart, because you'll love that. Let's go back to the picture cam. This is my pals, so I did tell him that I'm going to be sharing these pictures. That's kind of it in a garden. 2 meters long, 26 kilos. That barrel section you'll see in a moment. It is there. That's the barrel. So, gives you a kind of an idea. Absolutely bonkers, to say the least. So you get a gist of it. This thing here is like 18 inches and big. In my little hands is nothing compared to what it's going to be. You know, it is going to be huge. Happy days. Right, so that's that bit, that's that bit, that's that bit. What time are we at? 34, cool. So I've got that on, I've got that on, got that on, got that on with them two bits put together. That bit's on. So it's just this bit here for a minute, whatever that is. And whoop them on. And they go up this end apparently. In them little holes along there. So we shall see what they are and get on with it. P27 times 2. That's my bag of peas. Yeah, it is a big banger. P27 26 27. Oh, I need that one. Yeah. Right, so that is 27. And then I want another P27. That's going to be another screw. That's another 27 there. Then I need R29. And that'll be on this one. Somewhere. I think. Is that right? Yeah. Right, happy days. Now, you definitely need to number the bags. But I have a question. Just exactly how do you sneak a model that size past the other half? You don't. That's the beauty of it, you see. Because I'm in the shop. So she doesn't know. So there's no worries there about sneaking it anywhere. Right, and that apparently goes in there. I'm not overly impressed, I must admit, on this bit. Trim it a little bit to get it to sit in. Sit right. Right. Ah. Yeah, so there's no sneaking involved, no need. I just build it in the shop. Now the question is, when the time comes, if for whatever reason I have to take everything home from the shop, then that might be a kind of bit awkward. Like, where am I going to put this, honey? Yeah, but we're not at that stage, we're alright. So, this is a bit annoying and a bit fiddly. And what's confusing is there's actually extra holes in here, so I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to do with the rest of it. You know what I mean? Give it a wee rub. That one. Put it on there. Like that. Okay. Seems a bit silly, this bit. I don't think them holes are big enough. Not impressed there. Not impressed there. One funny thing, when I was talking to Neil about building this, the guy that's built it already, my pal, was he says to me, Fred, what glue have you been using? And I went, Tamiya glue. And he's like, eh? And that kind of made me a little bit nervous. Because obviously he tried to use Tamiya glue and it didn't work. So I'm kind of wondering why he asked me that. Evening, Joe. I'm just trying to get these to line up right and look half right for me. Obviously, you want it to look half right, eh? You know what I mean? You just got in the house. No worries, chap. It's been a nice day. So far, weather-wise, anyway. The original release was ABS plastic. Alright, probably that's what it is. Probably this is the same plastic, to be fair. But it seems to be working at the moment. Once you force them in the holes, that is. Yeah, that's got them on. I don't know what they're for, but there you go. They're in. Makes you realise how big it is once you see my hands holding it. Right, so we'll leave that sitting on there like that. Don't quite know if they're lined up how they should be. Not hard to sort it out if it ain't. Now we can move it around. No problem anyway. Bit of glue in there, soften it up, boom, happy days. So, oh dear. Right, okay. There's a lot more stuff going on here. And then I've got to put screws through, so that'll explain that. Yeah, okay. Right, so that's that. Sitting like that. And right, alright. So there's quite a bit going on here now on this next bit. Obviously I'm trying to get one of the bogies done before I carry on. So there's some of the boxes that we've seen here, and a load more of these fencing malarkey going on, railings, whatever, some stuff going on here, little stars, whatever they are, all these bits here. Then you've got the wood decky bit there to do, whatever that is, and then this bit here, whatever that is, and then you turn it upside down and put a couple of screws in it and screw it together. So that's where we're going to be at. I'm not going to get much of that done at this time frame, but we'll make a start anyway. So we want R27 from the first box, which is kind of obvious that it's going to be that big old bit there, eh? That's for sure. Right, so R27 and 2P17. So that will be this shenanigans here. It's kind of straightforward, it's, you know, it's not too bad. Just not exactly clear on some things, that's all. You know, they're the only ones that have built this, made this model kit, so it is what it is. You've got to go through it to do it. It'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Right, so I'll whoop these together. Oh, which way up they go. Not really. I don't think there's any particular way. Just marry up and that's it, I think. Yeah. So I'm just making a box. Put that other end on. I'm not sure what glue I'll use when it comes to the barrel. Obviously the barrel's massive and I don't know how solid the fixings it is and all that, you know, so we'll have to see on that. There's one side on. It's nice and simple, this lock. It's just your standard shenanigans, like any other model kit. He did laugh, Neil, because obviously he's built it, and I said to him that I was that I'd looked on YouTube to get a rough idea of what goes where, and no one had done this build live on YouTube. There's only a few people in the country that's made it, and everyone that has not done it on YouTube. So he kind of laughed and went, oh well. And he's probably watching because he does follow me on YouTube. The Bunker is his link. Let's see if I can find him for you. I can chuck a link in, I believe. So the Bunker, where is he? Mr. Rafferty. Subscriptions. Let me see if I can find him. The Bunker. No, right. Not through that one. Show subscriptions. Angel share. Oh, there he is. There we go. So, what you're looking for is this chap here. Now, that's who you're after. That's who built it. But he never built it on YouTube. But he's an awesome model builder and a great guy. So if you get a chance, give him a like, because he's just a great guy and I know him. He's a nice fella. His whole family, him, his missus and his daughter, come up to me at Perth show there and started laughing when he saw the kit on top there. And he said to his wife, you never guess what Fred's building. Right, I believe that goes in there, but I don't know if it glues in or screws in. Right, so I think it's a gluing job. Okay, so I'll pop that back out for a sec. Put some glue in there. And some glue in there. That one there. Very clear here. That one. Yeah. Believe that goes in there like that. And that's where the holes line up. Oh dear, let's have a look. Alright, okay. So I am working on one of the rear. Right, okay, so I'm working on one of the rear ones. Where there's one box, I believe. Some of them have one box and some have two. So this is a one box jobby. So that kind of makes it a little bit more awkward. Where's the one box job? A little bit less on the one box than on the two box. Right, okay. So I've got to skip quickly because there's a one box and a two box option. The two box option has got more on it, whereas the one box option is less on it. Because there's two rear ones that are one box, as you'll see, look. You have two rear ones that are one box and two front ones that are two boxes, if that makes sense. As you can see there, that them ones have two boxes on the front. Everything's still identical, but on the back it has one box. So I'm obviously doing a one box because that's the only holes available at the moment. So that makes sense why I'm not having enough space and bits to do what I wanted. I was thinking I was going to be doing. Oh dear, 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 dear. I think I pushed that in a bit too hard, eh? I need to push that in, but that's not going in there. That one's in. One being a pain there. Not quite going in how you want it to go in. What's going on with this one? This one's being a pest. Oh dear. Let's get one, huh? Let's try again. That one goes in there. Like that. And that one in there. It's really not wanting to go in there, eh? Just a tiny little bit. See if I can soften it with the glue. Sometimes softening that plastic with the glue helps. So. That's better. A lot better. Not quite still, right? Oh, you love this hobby, huh? See if I can loosen it a bit on there. The wonders of glue. I'm just glad when I forced that down there I didn't break everything on this. I'd have been raging so right, yeah. That's better. Right, that's the box on. So I'm doing a one box option at the minute. We do have some more silly railings, R16s and stuff to go all the way around. I'm guessing that's where this one will link up to and create an all-rounder, but at 57 minutes past we're going to call it a day. So next week we'll carry on with railings and whatnot and carry on just working away on this one now. This one's got to have the wood deck put on it and all that as well. So, but I'm toying with the idea of not using the wood deck, but we shall see. We'll see what it looks like. We'll get the rest of that on anyway next week, and then we'll have a look, see what's what. It's kind of getting fun because once I've done, you know, yeah, definitely basic on this deck. Not basic, but more basic than the other ones. You know what I mean? I don't even know if this one's supposed to have ladders on it, so maybe this one doesn't even go on here. We'll soon find out. Anyway, we shall figure it out. See that 2-deck one? Has it got steps on it? Right, okay. Kind of giving up for a minute. Yeah, it does have steps on it, so then why? And it still has the stars on it as well. So we've got to still put the stars on and all that by the looks of it. Right, anyway, I'm talking to myself here what I'm actually trying to look. You know, what I'm doing next week. Right, guys. Look, thank you very much for watching anyway and chatting away and the thumbs up and likes and all that shenanigans. Good to see everyone. I'll be back next Saturday 6 till 7. We'll get some more of the railings on and bits and bobs. Start trying to work out what we're doing and see where we go from there, really. Once I've got one complete bogey done, like them images, then we'll just do it all again for 3 more times. And then we'll start deciding what's what. Because I might leave it in sections, you know, like I might leave this as a removable section at the moment, just for ease of painting. So I could actually just paint that and paint that, you know, and then put them together, just plonk them together and stick a couple of screws in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm still not sure about this metal either. If we should leave it like that or not. But we'll figure it out. But bye for now, and I'll see you all next week. Take care and speak to you all soon. And like I say, thanks for popping by. Appreciate it. I'm going to lock up the shop and go home, get something to eat and chill for the last hour's sunshine before I'm back to work tomorrow. No worries. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.